Hey guys, it's Coco Tarot back again with another message. We're just going to get right into it and see what you guys need to know right now. I hope everyone is doing well. So, messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know right now? Thank you so much. 3 cards for the collective. Okay, we got the 8 of Hearts, which is the 8 of Cups. Clarify the 8 of Cups for the collective. I just heard, what is your heart telling you to do? The Hangman. Clarify the Hangman and the 8 of Cups for the collective. And the Ace of Wands. We have the Strength on the bottom of the deck. There's something you feel like you need to do. Something you've been enlightened to or just learned about. Something that's weighing on your heart. You have recently been inspired to do this thing or to say this thing or do this action. It's almost like you found something out that suspended you or changed everything, and now it's ignited you to move forward. I feel like for some of you, you've decided to choose yourself in a situation above all else, but either way, there's a clear choice that was made here, a decision that was made based off some kind of enlightenment or information that you received. This could have been a painful process, or there could have been a painful process leading up to this revelation. For some of you, you're ready to get over someone or get over a situation. You're done with it. You no longer, it was like you woke up one day and it no longer affected you in your heart space. Clarify this for the collective. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. You could have had to learn something through a failure. So as a result of something not working out, it's almost like it pushed you elsewhere. It pushed you to go somewhere else. For some of you guys, you could have a spending problem, or you could emotionally spend money when you feel, even not in a bad way, but in a good emotion. Sometimes you could spend a lot of money. There could be this dark cloud over your finances in the recent past. But for a long time, you weren't ready to move on. You weren't ready to be in this 8 of Cups energy, ready to walk away from something that maybe you worked hard at or you just worked at for a long time. And it's as if now you're at a point where maybe your back's against the wall, or you feel like you're in a hole where you are inspired, like a flame being lit under your butt, to move forward, to advance somewhere else, to walk away from something that has not been working for a while. You procrastinated on this mission, is what I'm hearing. You procrastinated on this decision for a really long time. Clarify this for the collective. The 7 of Cups, yeah. You fantasized about something too in the process. And maybe that's why you held on for so long, because of this fantasy, this want for something. I see you moving into a period where you make decisions based off logic. So when I said earlier about having a spending addiction, or, maybe you're addicted to Amazon and sending yourself gifts and packages, and you do this when you're in emotion or as an impulsivity, or to fantasize or make some kind of, I'm hearing glamour, or keep up with something. Maybe some of you guys are into brands, or you try to keep up with the trends, and it's almost like that hurts you in the end. And you've realized that now. Something happened that made you realize what you've been doing for the past few years. If this resonates for you, it's been the past few years, is not a healthy choice or a healthy habit. Some of you guys are being called to detach yourself from worldly possessions, from materialism, like I said, brands, or feeling like you have to be up on these trends. For a long time, you've cashed in on illusions. some kind of fantasy, your imagination, trying to live up to some kind of imagination or some story you've told yourself. It's giving me the energy of, I'll start that workout regimen once I get that cute workout outfit, or I'll start cooking at home and stop getting fast food once I get that KitchenAid. It's almost like you're waiting to do something or bargaining with yourself to not do the right thing. And by the right thing, I mean right for you, because you've known for a while that these things aren't good for you. And the Queen of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Some of you guys are really focused on your outer appearance or this materialism, these worldly possessions. And you've been feeling like it has left you unsatisfied. You know, you buy one thing thinking, oh, that I really need this. Once I get this, I'll feel complete. And then you get it and it's on to the next thing you need to feel complete. There's an addiction here to material, but also something physical. So for some of you guys, if it isn't physical, you don't feel the love. That seems very random, but I feel that heavily. There's something about the physicality of things, the material of things that draws you in. So there could be some physical desires that you feel like you need to walk away from as well. It's just a lot of fantasy. You're trying to live up to some kind of fantasy in your head, or some kind of version of yourself. This could even be, you know, how we talk about our higher self, but sometimes you can fall too much into that and tell yourself this story and make this higher self seem unattainable. This version of ourselves in our head that we've created that we feel is what we look like. To other people, when they see us, there is a version of ourselves that they see us as, that we look like. But to ourselves, oftentimes we look very different in our heads than what we do in the mirror. It's like the mirror kind of disrupts that and you're like, what? You know, that's not really who I see as myself in my head, that I'm hearing alternate being or alter ego. So for some of you, you've been trying to live up to some kind of version of yourself in your head, or maybe you've even projected this onto others, to lovers, where they have to live up to these versions of themselves, these fantasies that you've created. Clarify this for the collective. Ooh. Yeah. And it's just created a burden. Like I said, it never ends. You get one thing, then you need the next thing, and then the next thing to just fulfill you or to make you feel satisfied. It's temporary satisfaction. It's gratification. It's the dopamine rush of someone hitting the like button on your photo because you just got a new hairdo, or it's the adrenaline of, you know what I mean, getting ready or something. You guys are really addicted to that fast gratification. You could be a very impatient person, but this weighs heavily on you. It really does. There's a need for introspection here. There's a need to sit yourself down and have a talk with yourself. Ask yourself, is what you're doing contributing to your happiness? Or is it just creating more burdens, more financial debt, more fantasy to try to live up to? It's time to really sit yourself down and have a deep conversation about where you want to go, because if this resonates with you, you've known for a while that these habits or this lifestyle or something in your life needs to be eliminated, that you've been actively participating in. The Nine of Wands. Things that you've been holding on to. This could even be clothes or items that you could be donating, but you hold on to. Some of you guys, there's something very materialistic about the wealth that you're trying to accumulate. And it's going to create a tower moment if it hasn't already. Some of you guys with the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck, you go out too much. You wine and dine too much. You try to impress people. There's this constant energy of you trying to measure up to something. But what you're trying to measure up to is an idea that you have created. That Seven of Cups, that fantasy. Clarify this Tower card for the collective. Clarify this Tower. The Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Cups. You're trying to fill an emotional void with material things. So, for example, let's say someone broke your heart, and now you're like, well, I'm going to invest all this money into being the best version of myself, which sounds very good on the surface. But then you end up spending a lot of money to enhance your features or buy a bunch of makeup or try to look, like you've moved on, and in the end, it just puts a hole in your pocket and still makes you feel this emotional craving or validation. Instead of coming to terms with the fact that that person might have broke your heart and left you empty, you try to fill this vase with things and trinkets and clothes and, whether masculine or feminine, whatever. Buying drinks for your friends or buying drinks to, forget. It's like there's a lot of distraction from your emotions, and that's why you're very physical. For some of you guys, you could be the type of person where you say the proof is in the pudding, or you like to see people's actions as opposed to waiting around to see if they'll keep their word. It's very of the world. The Nine of Cups and the Hermit. But there's something bigger here if you allow it to change you. We started with the Eight of Cups, and now we're at the Nine of Cups. Walking away from what no longer serves us straight into abundance and wish fulfillment and happiness. Okay, but sometimes that means walking into silence so you can see past the noise. Some of you guys have been going out too much, or I don't want to say that, but it's almost like there's a need for this inward reflection, this time to water your own garden, as opposed to watering this expectation of the world and what you see for yourself. The satisfaction you're looking for, the love that you're looking for, starts with this self journey, this inward journey into who you really are behind all the jewelry and the makeup and the clothes and the image. Doing some soul searching is going to be wonders for you. Because you can search reality and the physical for eons trying to feel something. But the second you search for your soul is when those coincidences and those weird mystical experiences start to happen. So you need to embrace that right now. Take this Ace of Wands, this inspiration, to walk away and run with it. Okay? Run with it. Because right now, you're ignoring your true self or your heart, your emotions. You could be too emotional. You could suppress your emotions so much that this Queen of Swords in reverse comes out and you lash out at people or you push people away. And then people around you could wonder, what the heck was that? And you're like, sorry, that was stuff from years ago that I haven't let go of. There's a need to let go and walk away from this materialism, this outward appearance. Clarify this. We'll get a few more. The Page of Wands in reverse. Clarify the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay. Once again, we end with the Strength at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we have Judgment. The Queen of Cups. The Death. And the Seven of Wands. You're being backed into a corner right now. And this corner, this judgment, this karma, this tower moment, this hangman, it's resulting in a death. This could very well be an ego death. And it could feel like you're being backed into this corner to make this happen because it's been trying to happen for you for a while. This need to release the physical. Embracing what you can't see. But we're going to get into some ending messages and see what else you guys need to know. Can we get some ending messages for the collective? Some ending advice. Thank you so much. Okay. Beyond illusions. Yeah, that Seven of Cups card. You have been subscribing to an illusion of the self. Whatever you've been trying to live up to, or some kind of expectation, or even a look, an image, it's an illusion. And there's this need to see beyond that. Clarify this for the collective. The venom. You've been feeding yourself poison. And this spiritual journey, what's been trying to happen for you that has been coming in the form of tower moments or financial instability, it's your body's way of trying to push the toxins out, push the venom out, the poison that you've been feeding yourself. You're being poisoned by your own expectation of who you think you should be, based off the world's view, or based off the trend, or based off what's culturally normal, or I don't know. The illusion is the poison. And it's time for you to wake up to the fact that you've been poisoning yourself. For some of you, this is the stuff you've been listening to or looking at, the imagery. Whatever it is that needs to be purged, it's creating a psychic block for you. In your third eye, this materialism, this image. Whatever you've been subscribing to is spiritual poison. I don't know. Maybe you guys are listening to something that isn't good for you. And what I mean by an image is like, it's like looking in the magazine and thinking that you have to look that way to be beautiful, or you're so caught up with images, and there's this need to be caught up with something beyond that. Individuality. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything you do. There's a need to be yourself. You're scrubbing out your uniqueness in order to fit in with society. The trends, doing what everybody else thinks is cool. There's something here about getting back to who you are, because you've lost that. You don't even know who you are because you've been trying to put on all these different masks that other people have been telling you is appropriate. You're masking, and it's hurting you in the long run, especially spiritually. These false visions of yourself, they have consequences, cause and effect, okay? There's a need for elevation, for you to realize that you don't need to be wrapped up in the physical to have inward satisfaction. And that is your reading for today, guys, and I'll be back soon with another message. Toodaloo.